Now, we know that plants and animals are all connected in a complex food chain, but we're losing so many links in that chain that we could be threatening our own survival.
Nature is frightened and it's on the run. We've lost more species in the last generation than we've lost in the last 65 million years. Some estimates say we're losing up to 200 species a day.
Biodiversity is the umbrella term for the millions of different species that live on our planet. So when biodiversity shrinks, as it is like never before, we lose thousands of creatures and critters never to be seen again.
Land clearing massively accelerates the extinction rate, and then it's how we produce food in these cleared areas that brings on threats like invasive species.
When we lose a species out of an ecosystem, it can have significant impacts on other animals. Biologists like to use analogies like a spider's web. It's a bit like having a hole in that web that then affects the whole structure and function of the web as a whole.
Since 1970, the Earth has lost over 30% of its biodiversity through habitat loss, over-exploitation such as fishing, pollution, the spread of invasive species and climate change. 19,817 species are now listed as endangered, with the rate of extinction 100 times the level it was before human beings walked the Earth. In Australia, 96 animals are on the brink of being wiped out. The orange-bellied parrot, native to Tasmania, could be our rarest bird, with fewer than 50 left in the wild. But it's not just rare Australian birds that are under threat. Across the globe, primates, big cats and even elephants are all facing an uncertain future. Leaf Cox is working to save the critically endangered Sumatran orangutan, which is expected to become extinct in the next decade as Indonesian forests are felled for pulp paper, palm oil and other products.
We're extremely against the wall and we only have 6,500 left, with 1,000 being killed a year. And at the moment, a special plan for land use is going up, which will cause their extinction. So we're really at the cusp of whether we can save the Sumatran tiger, orangutan and elephant.
It's not always loss of habitat that threatens species. Incredibly, the World Wildlife Fund says the illegal trade of ivory across the globe has contributed to the Sumatran elephant population dropping to under 3,000. To think our great-grandchildren may never see one of these creatures alive is devastating. But it's not just the destruction of animals that we should be worried about.
2/3 of medicines with cancer-fighting properties come from rainforests. Rainforests that we're still clearing.
And yet, there are things we can do at home to help turn back the clock on shrinking biodiversity.
Plant native shrubs and trees. They provide food and habitat to our native birds and mammals. Then you can contact your local land care group or bush care group and get involved in protecting and enhancing the native vegetation.
It's the richness of life. It's how you feel when you wake up in the morning and hearing birds in the backyard. Australians are proud of the animals that they've got here, and we're losing it.
Such important stuff. If you want to find out more about this story and how you can help protect nature, you can do that by going to our website and following the links.
It's really easy. You can just get your kids to sponsor an animal. There's heaps of organisations where you can sponsor an animal.
And all kinds of animals, not just the cute and delicious ones. I'm quite serious about that. Even the ugly, scary ones. We've got to take care of them too.
Except the tarantulas. We'll be back in a moment.